All right. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. What an incredible event so far, even though it's virtual. And I get the honor of kicking off tonight's event with what I'm coming to understand has been my signature stamp on this company, and that is to help Jamie, Leanne, and DLC put a true lifetime legacy program in place for advisors who build something big here. You know, as a single mom and now a grandmother, that was such a significant undertaking for me, as I just couldn't fathom the idea of building a business in this industry for 20 years for it only to last 10 years after I left this life. I remember back in January when I was asked to speak and speak twice at this convention, how much I was dreading it because I had so many other things going on in the business. I had prepared the team back in December that we were all going to jump out of the starting blocks in January, and we would all do this 31-day sprint in recruiting and in production to set the pace for our yearly goals. And it was going to require all men on deck and all women on deck. And true to form, the team stepped up to the challenge and really didn't disappoint, as I knew they would. And I saw the results of that earlier today at some of the awards for the SM and the SFAs. So having to come up with 2 presentations by last week when Jamie said the deadline was, that I would inspire the field, and it was a challenge. But once I really sat and thought about the topic of why the legacy program is so instrumental, I knew the words would come easily because of the passion I had back then when I kind of took some heat from Jamie, and for the legacy stories that are being built, not only here in Quebec, but for all of you who are trying to build a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, and for generations thereafter. One thing that I've come to learn in this company is that once you start accomplishing some significant milestones, you're going to be called upon. Actually, you're going to be forced to step up, forced to step up for your team, forced to step up for your family, because these people are really counting on you in so many ways. And in my case, being a member of the ELC, forced to step up for the company. So tonight I'm going to kind of tell you some stories of some of the legacies that are being built here in Quebec, especially in this province that I get the privilege of working in every single day. So let's get started. I'm sure you're going to be able to identify some of these stories in your own life. And I think I heard earlier how important this legacy program is when Mauro spoke so eloquently about what it has done and what it is going to do for his family. The mission of Experior, as all of you know, is to build financial foundations for families to empower them today and to leave a legacy for tomorrow. So here are some of the foundational legacy stones that are being built in Quebec. Here you'll see some of my directs and some of my second generations and third generations. This tree will one day be drawn to include thousands of families, including yours. So make sure you don't miss out on that. This group, along with several others, are here to build something big for their families first, and then to inspire them to do the same for their teammates. Now, I'm sure all of you have all come to Experior, and you all know we're here to help millions and millions of families out there that have very little hope of being in that 1% we always talk about in the BTO, who will never make it financially. But you should also know this: always begin by helping your family first. We all came and we're all on teams of uplines and downlines, but always remember, you need to build something that your children's children will be able to inherit one day. Otherwise, you're thinking way too small and way too short term. It warms my heart when I think that one day when I'm no longer here, my little Anthony will have a story to tell about Nana Andrea and how she shaped their lives. Here's who Anthony Pascal is building this business for. The Italians, as I've come to know, have large families, as you can see here. And Anthony has the good fortunes to still have his 2 grandmothers, which I got the opportunity to meet in Italy, one of them last year, and his grandfather, Domenico, who is up in the top right-hand corner there. You want to talk about fighting for a world where we have the chance to build and leave a legacy? Anthony's grandfather, Domenico, served in World War II and walked for 2 weeks from Poland, where he ended up after the World War ended, through Czechoslovakia, where his family thought he had died when he didn't return back to the little village where they lived with the rest of the troops. It eventually took him 3 months to get back to his little village in Italy, fighting the elements just to stay alive. And, following in Anthony's grandfather's footsteps, Anthony has a sheer determination to do something for his family. Anthony is here to make his parents, Lisa and Joe, and his siblings, Dominic, Stephanie, and Kristen, proud of him as well. Anthony, I'm proud to call you my teammate, but more importantly, I'm proud to call you my friend. Oh, I'm going to cry. I remember going to see this family on the right, Christina and Mira, and then them introducing me to Christina's sister, Pamela, and her husband, Kush, who are now an SM team building a great business for little Mila, Keishan, Jalen, and Maya. Pamela, she's my kind of girl. She's no nonsense, no games, just business. Having two power couples from the same family, building teams will ensure wealth for generations to come for this family. Because if Pamela succeeds, Auntie Christina succeeds as well. So, having your sister in business with you is something I'm sure both of them treasure. Here's the first guy to join Experior in Quebec. Here's the first guy to move his license over to Experior. And he's the first guy that I call on to help with all aspects of the business. I often say, and I say it all the time, that when I grow up, I want to be like Hadi Bashara. He's just an all-around superstar. Born in Lebanon, Hadi and his sweetheart, Anita, immigrated from Kuwait to Canada to become citizens of this country, as becoming citizens in Kuwait wasn't going to be possible for them or their children, as they were not born in that country. It's for Alex and little Ava that Hadi has now planted his flag here at Experior. Oh, on a side note, if you guys ever come to Montreal and you want a great party to go to, Hadi and Anita's house is like party central. The next legacy builder wins my best student award, I always say. Empress Latoya, she's smart. She grasps concepts quickly. And she does her homework for the client for a training appointment. She does it on time. And her little Tiana is the same way. I watched her a couple weeks ago, little Tiana, talk Latoya into keeping a stray cat one night that they pulled out off the street. And Tiana she pulled out all the stops and didn't let up until she won. And I love watching lives being shaped, both big and small. Here's Tita Karina, as we all call her in the office. Tita loves her children, Carl and Cha and Clyde. Karina, Nesta, and I are the only grandmothers on the team. So both of these ladies hold a really special place in my heart, and they're both my directs. Both of these ladies, we really need this legacy thing to work out in order for Karina's grandchildren, Zaki and Zai, to reap the benefits of what she is building here. Her recruit, Meritus Soriano, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, she promised her son, Josh, to go on a cruise when cruise lines open up again. And boy, she didn't waste any time getting to SFA in 60 days in order to get her SFA promotion to be able to do so one day. At our age, you guys, we put a whole new meaning to the saying, a sense of urgency. Here's Betty, another single mom, busting it out there for her little Sophia. I told the SMs and EDs yesterday in the SM and ED meeting that in addition to being a hard worker, everyone needs a girlfriend like Betty. Boy, I thought I was the world's best shopper, but Betty beats me in that department, hands down. Here's a gal who works hard. She knows how to shop till you drop. She knows how to cook. And she does it all. She can pull all-nighters binging. This business has to work out for Betty as she plans to retire her parents, Tula and George, and will be taking them and little Sophia to Greece this summer, God's willing. This guy and his family, Rula, and their 4 children, Zoe, Eftia, Spiros, and Eftihios, hold a special place in my heart. Not because of the personal struggles that Tasso has been through in his life, and one day, hopefully, you'll all get to hear his story. But his son, Spiros, and my grandson, little Sweet Pea Anthony, were born on the same day, at the same hospital, within a couple hours of each other, and they just delivered their children just a couple doors from where Carly, my daughter, was delivering her baby. Tasso and I would meet at the ice machines to check on how the labor was progressing for both Tula and Carly. And boy, did we celebrate when God blessed us with those 2 little angels. As you know, life for me that day became the game changer in this business. Having my mom there when I delivered Carly was when I knew that miracle still happened. But being there to help Carly bring Sweet Pea into the world, and now having him the bundle of joy in my life, I mean, he's here, he's right over there, I can see him. It has been sheer magic for me. The other grandmother on our team, Nesta, had a late start in this business, but I believe that's what drives her to work so hard. Working hard to make sure Kyrie, Kimai, and Jaden have a grandma that they can say erase poverty from their life's history forever. Just in case her kids Corey, Danea, Shamar, Shikaya, and Shea don't do it before she does. Keep going, Nesta. You got this. You can do this. Oh my goodness. For what this guy has gone through these last 2 years personally, he has no choice but to succeed here. Myron and I have become each other's best friends in business and in life. And I would move heaven and earth just to see Myron succeed for his beautiful wife, Kathy. His children, William and David and Queen Faith, I call her. They're all counting on you, Myron, and I know that you won't disappoint. Now, here's a lady I admire more than she will ever know. Farida Sharafi escaped to Canada from Iran with her son Parham, went through some great hardships, getting a job in a French province, finding a roof to live under, not knowing the system, not knowing how the laws worked in Canada, not being able to go back to her father's funeral last year due to COVID. But you know what? She persevered. And she's now one of the top personal producers on the team. And as you saw last night and earlier this afternoon, she's in the top 10 in the company. Now she's teaching her son Parham how to win at the money game and is building a legacy for him to be proud of. I gotta say that I have so many single moms on the team and that are trying to be legacy builders for their family. I think we have over 12 single moms right now. And the thing I admire most about single moms is how hard they're willing to work for their children. After being separated from her son Josh, who was left in the Philippines for years, Lucy has had to work hard to get him to come to Canada and continues to be a great mother, and provider for Josh. And I think she's promised him that Datsun 24Z, which is his favorite car that he's been dreaming about. But Lucy, she's part of the mighty power couple with Dinesh, and they're building a great business together. This kid here at the top, Zidane, is my favorite little kid. He's just like his dad. The minute you meet Zidane, you love him. And the minute you meet Ali Shan, you love him. Not only do I have mostly single moms in my team, but with the exception, I believe, of Anthony Pascal, all of us are immigrants. So here's Ali Shan, who immigrated from Pakistan to provide a better life for Zidane and Zayan and Mahira and his lovely wife, Tahira. Ali Shan, not only do you have a big reason to win here at Experior, but you also have a big family to do it for. Now, you've heard about just a handful of the legacies that are being built here in Montreal, but imagine the number of legacies being built all across this continent, north and south of this border. And it's going to need your help, even if we're just one day, and even if it's just one person that you have to show the way. I got this little poem from Stephen Cooper, and I thought it would be fitting to conclude my presentation. And it goes something like this, and I'm just going to read it. It goes like this. He stood at the crossroad all alone, the sunlight in his face. He had no thought of the world unknown. He was set for the manly race. But the road stretched east and the road stretched west, and the lad knew not which road was best. So he chose the road that led him down, and he lost the race and the victor's crown. He was caught at last in an angry snare, because no one stood at the crossroad there to show him the better road. Another day at the self-same place, a boy with high hopes stood. He was set for the manly race as well. He too was seeking the things that were good. But one was there who the road did know, and that one showed him which way to go. So he turned from the road that would lead him down, and he won the race and the victor's crown. He walks the highway fair because one stood at the crossroad there to show him a better way. You know, all of us stand at the crossroad of somebody's life, but we all stand at the crossroad of our own lives. And I'll end with this. There's power, you guys, in understanding the journeys of others, and it helps you to create your own journey. And your team is depending on you to help them create theirs. Help them to build a legacy for their family. So hopefully by now you'll have an idea why it was so very important for me to make sure we fulfill the mission of this company, which is to, you know, the men and women on your team and with your help are building financial foundations for families to empower them today and to leave a legacy for their children for tomorrow. Thank you.